It was a quiet evening at the Montgomery estate, with the golden rays of the setting sun casting long shadows across the sprawling grounds. The mansion stood proud at the heart of it all, a symbol of power and wealth. Yet, amid all this grandeur, there was a growing darkness, an unseen emptiness that had taken root in the heart of its owner, Victor Montgomery. Victor was a man who had everything: money, respect, and an empire he had built from the ground up. But what he didn't have was love, or perhaps more accurately, the ability to feel it. Over the years, his heart had become a cold, hard shell, impervious to anything that didn't benefit him. And as he stood by the grand windows of his mansion, watching the orange and pink hues of the sunset, there was one thing he couldn't ignore: his once prized mare, Bella. Bella had been with him since she was a foal, growing into one of the finest racehorses the world had ever seen. But now, Bella was no longer the spirited, winning horse she once was. She had become blind, and her body had begun to show the wear of age. And to Victor, she was now nothing but a burden. A mare who had outlived her usefulness. In his mind, she was nothing more than an expense, something he no longer wanted to care for. He had no time for animals that couldn't win races or serve his interests. His attention had shifted to new investments, new business ventures, and the cold pursuit of wealth. Bella's blindness and her pregnancy meant nothing to him. So, one cold evening, Victor made a decision that would haunt him forever. Without a second thought, he called his staff. "Take the mare away. I don't care where. Just make sure she's gone by morning." The workers, hesitant but bound by their duty, prepared the truck and led Bella away from the mansion. Bella, unaware of her fate, followed the workers quietly. The mare's heart ached with a strange, unexplainable feeling, like something was wrong, like she was being abandoned. But she didn't resist. She trusted her master. The workers drove for miles, finally arriving at a secluded field where they opened the truck and led Bella out. The sky was darkening rapidly, and Bella stood there, alone in the cold, her once shiny coat now dull and worn. She couldn't see the surroundings, but she could feel the wind biting at her skin, the loneliness wrapping around her like a heavy blanket. She was abandoned, left behind by the one person she had trusted her whole life. She wandered aimlessly through the field, her hooves leaving deep marks in the soil. Her stomach ached from the life growing inside her, but the pain was nothing compared to the emptiness in her heart. She had been a companion, a trusted racehorse, and now she was nothing. Days passed, and Bella's health continued to decline. The cold, the loneliness, and the weight of her pregnancy took their toll. She struggled to find food, but every day she pushed forward, driven by the instinct to survive, for herself, and for the little life inside her. But it seemed hopeless. How could she survive in this barren land, abandoned by the one person she had loved? On the 7th day of her isolation, when it seemed like all hope was lost, something miraculous happened. Elizabeth, a kind-hearted farmer from a nearby village, was walking her fields when she spotted Bella. She had heard of the wealthy Montgomery's mare, but she never imagined she would find her, abandoned and broken, alone in the cold. Elizabeth's heart broke as she approached the mare, her breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. She whispered gently, "You poor thing. You don't deserve this." Bella, sensing the warmth in Elizabeth's voice, took a cautious step forward. Her eyes, clouded with blindness, met the kind farmer's gaze. Elizabeth reached out and gently patted her, a soothing touch that seemed to calm the mare's frightened heart. "I won't leave you," Elizabeth said softly. I promise you that." With the little strength she had left, Bella allowed Elizabeth to guide her back to the safety of her small barn. The barn was modest, but it was warm, and there was plenty of food. For the first time in what felt like forever, Bella felt a flicker of hope. Elizabeth tended to Bella with great care, feeding her, brushing her coat, and helping her rest. She knew that Bella was not just an ordinary mare, there was something special about her. As the days went by, Elizabeth's bond with the mare grew stronger. And soon, Bella was no longer just a creature of the past, she was a symbol of resilience, strength, and hope. As the weeks passed, Bella's pregnancy came to full term. One night, under the soft light of the barn, Bella gave birth to a foal. It was a breathtaking moment, silent, yet filled with such beauty that Elizabeth couldn't help but shed a tear. The foal, a small colt with a coat as white as snow, took his first breaths in the same barn that had become his sanctuary. Elizabeth named him Hope. Hope, just like his mother, was a fighter. He grew strong under the watchful eye of Elizabeth, and every day, Bella's spirit seemed to soar. She had been saved, and in return, she had saved the life of her son. The bond between mother and foal was unbreakable. And Elizabeth, who had never had a family of her own, had found the love and companionship she had always longed for. But Victor Montgomery, unaware of the mare's survival, continued his life of luxury. His wealth continued to grow, but so did his emptiness. His heart, hardened by years of greed, didn't realize that the greatest treasures in life could not be bought. Then one day, Victor found himself driving through the area near the barn. He was on business, but something compelled him to take a detour. As he passed the field, he saw something that made him stop in his tracks. There, standing in the soft light of the evening, was Bella, alive, strong, and thriving. She was grazing peacefully, her foal by her side. It was a sight that Victor had never expected to see. For a moment, he felt a strange tug in his chest, a feeling he couldn't quite explain. But it was too late. Bella had found her new family, and there was no place for him in her life anymore. As Victor drove away, he realized the truth: he had abandoned something precious, something that could never be replaced. The wealth he had spent his life chasing would never fill the emptiness he felt now. Bella, however, had found something far more valuable: love, loyalty, and the beauty of redemption. The millionaire may have abandoned the mare, but what happened next would forever remind him, and everyone else, that the true worth of life was found in love and kindness, not wealth.